it is a counter, so to speak, but it is still risky.
Also, it provides the go button that Clutch are looking for. Their idea is to try and snowball off of some early Gragas ganks and then continue this through the mid game with Leona. Leona is one of the best engaged supports. She can only go one way, which is in, but she has a long-range ultimate to start off these fights and try and pick off kills for Qiyana to go for.
Yeah, we knew Clutch Gaming wanted to try something different. They decided it was on them. They're not denying anything from Team Liquid, right?
Yeah.
Sure, they changed one of their bans to throw in a Sejuani, but for the most part, they said, no, we can beat the version of Team Liquid we saw last game. Let's give it to them again. Team Liquid takes it because of their confidence, and this is Clutch's second try.
But at the same time, man, if Team Liquid win back-to-back games in convincing fashion using the same strategy, I feel like in Game 3, Clutch would have to switch it up. But we can't get there just yet because Clutch Gaming, they've made the changes. They're playing towards the top side. They don't have the lovers duo in the bottom lane, but they got Leona, and these guys have the ability to make the plays happen. Let's see what they can do.
All right, let's see if they start out with any sort of level 1s as well. They do have a possibility here, but everybody fanning out on both sides make me think it's going to be more of a defensive opening. Team Liquid all heading towards the bottom side with a couple of pings through the river.
Yeah, thinking back.
Might be a wraparound here from CoreJJ. Cody Sun will be able to see him though.
Yeah, it would allow Vulcan to get a ward if he wanted to, but they're mainly just setting up defensive lines. Thinking back to Game 1, remember Impact actually took half of his health standing in that exact same spot when Lira and Huni checked him, but that was also with an Azir at level 1 with much more range. And remember the bottom lane also had a level 1 all-in with the Rakan, which ended up burning Cody Sun's flash. So I wonder if the same feisty mentality is going to be here in Game 2 from both the top and the bottom lanes.
Well, I'm sure Impact will be happy to go into lane with his full health bar instead of half of it this time around, especially up against something where he'll be brawling a lot back and forth with the Aatrox. Conqueror on both of these top laners provide some scaling, some extra sustain in the lane too, as the Conqueror will be healing you up a bit. Predator for Gragas in the jungle, pretty understandable. Electrocute Jarvan for Xmithie, so stronger ganks early on, but not quite the same later on damage potential with the Conqueror that we sometimes see. Everything else is pretty much par for the course here, as Team Liquid will take Xmithie down to the bottom lane here early, but Xmithie, never mind, just going to go back to the Crux.
He was there in case Vulcan and Cody Sun were waiting in the brush, which is sometimes what happens when a team starts in lane and their Gragas would start on the top side, but actually really like that move by Xmithie, saving the chance of a cheese gank, but only losing about 1 or 2 seconds in his jungle clear.
There's going to be a bottom side as well into Krug next for him. Ooh. See if he lends any more support down there. Jensen got a very nice trade early on Damonte, by the way. Chunking about 200 health off. Xmithie finds the ward, and this is going to be a little bit of information. Now Lira knows that he is the only one on the top side of the map. He might go for one of those early plays onto the Renekton side, but Gragas definitely benefits from fully finishing and getting the blue buff as well.
Yeah, big choice here, actually, because Lira could be level 3 and go for a blue buff invade, knowing he has that ward. And there was a guessing game of whether or not Xmithie was going to invade blue buff, but he actually walked over yet another ward. So instead, Lira opts into the safe jungle path of just full clearing on Gragas.
And because Xmithie went for the pass at bottom side, you know, there's a high percentage chance that ward is there. It is. It delays the extra camp, so now Lira is 1 camp ahead, and Xmithie got that 1 ward kill on bottom side. Scuttle Crabs will spawn after Lira finishes up this blue, and he would be able to get out there with a little bit of extra experience.
And with Lira making sure he's on the opposite side of the map from Xmithie, the chance of seeing a Scuttle Crab fiasco like we did in game number 1 is significantly lower. True, what it was in that last match. We'll see Lira go ahead and start up that Scuttle Crab here on the bottom side. Also provide a little bit of extra cover for Cody Sun and Vulcan, as they do have control over the lane right now, shoving this wave up towards DoubleLift and CoreJJ. Hopefully to get that one underneath their turret, get that one bouncing back towards them with Lira down here on this bottom side of the map. He'll walk over that zombie ward, clear that out, and make his way back towards mid lane.
Kind of love the posturing both supports are doing. I almost think it's like a Aftershock Wars. It's actually the loser is the person who procs Aftershock first, because then the other team gets to delay their all-in damage when they're that close to each other. Jensen continues to get favorable trades in the mid lane.
Lira taking a swig, walking on up. Not like he's going to find much of anything. Jensen's far back enough to not be too worried about it, and Damonte is only half HP, so doesn't want to hard commit, but Lira's just going to show up to shove this wave out and give Damonte a better back.
Yeah, but Xmithie wants to make him pay for it.
Oh, it's the three-man Team Liquid play coming in. Damonte with a flash, looking to keep himself alive. Just barely able to do it long enough to make the trade come out. And Clutch Gaming will collapse on Team Liquid and snap that play in half.
Everyone from Clutch shows up! Cody Sun teleports in! Vulcan even ran Leona all the way up the river to join that party! Clutch are saying, there's no way we lose the first fight again! They throw everybody into the mid lane. That's going to mean DoubleLift and CoreJJ push out bottom side, but it also means Clutch get 3 kills.
How many times do you see 5 men mid before 5 minutes? And the way this starts, reaction time from Damonte buys them so much because they burn 2 flashes. And watch the second delay when Lira gets the double knock-up Q on Body Slam. Yes, First Blood does go over to TL, but because they dove so far and because Clutch was so willing to just burn all of their teleports, they can pick up 3 kills. So this is the start the Clutch was hoping for as they now go for a flashless impact in top side.
Could this be part 2 of that start? Huni stabs him right through the heart, and that is kill number 4 for Clutch Gaming.
That was actually really clean from Huni. Sweet spot, Q1, landing the chain into Q2 right there. Jensen wants to make him pay for it though.
Huni's got no flash either.
Is this the start of the Akali Rampage part 2? Huni's going to have some quick feet here to get away from this one. Lira coming back, trying to protect his top laner, but nothing's going to save you from that one. Jensen gets himself the second.
Yeah, timely roam there by Jensen. Damonte was back in base on a recall, and Xmithie can even pick up the extra experience on the cannon minion. That was just a lot of confidence from Jensen. He had to land his E. That was the big thing that he had to land during that combo. He did, and it was a secure kill onto Huni.
And I think if we look up what led to that play, they lost track of Jensen, losing track of the Akali there, whether it's miscommunication from mid. It looks like that's the case because Jensen is on this wave in mid when the play starts, as you can see from the mini-map. So it's Clutch getting a little bit carried away with their success here because this was such a good play. As we talked about, clean play from Huni, lands everything, flashes in for the Q2 as well to finish the kill, but they should have known Akali just exited from the mid lane off of that minion vision.
And this is going to be key, watching who can win the level 6 in the mid lane. I think that is why we're seeing so much attention drawn towards it. Oftentimes, you see most kills happen in the bot of the top lane, but with Akali Qiyana, it has to start first in the mid. Who can get pressure on the other one? And it's not just enough pressure to push him off the wave, it's enough pressure to actually kill the other person. Both junglers are there all the time, both top laners are there all the time, and that's what's going to open up this game.
Just the name of the game in the assassin matchup. It's all about that kill pressure, all about just getting that tempo advantage over your opponent there and being able to be the one who always forces the issue. Bottom side, minion dematerializer onto the cannon minion to make sure they can shove this wave out as quickly as possible. Lira showing up in no subtle fashion just to back these guys up and make sure that gets shoved out to allow Cody Sun and Vulcan the ability to rotate out of the lane, go back, shop, do whatever they need to do. As you're going to see topside, another 1v1 breaking out here as Impact continues to get the better of Huni. You can see that by the CS lead he's built up here for himself so far.
And as you can see after that last match, he's able to rush the Executioner's Calling, which provides a lot of value versus Aatrox, do the extra healing that he always gets. Level 7 now for Huni with a slight lead for the time being over Impact as he's trying to fight his way back though. And Jensen gets some deep wards to keep track of possible Gragas movements. This is the best ward to place, by the way. If you're a mid laner and you want to keep track of the enemy jungle coming for you, they almost always will play off of Raptor Camp. So he's got both sides of the Raptor Camp warded.
And remember last game, it wasn't just Jensen getting ahead in the skirmishes, it was getting ahead in the skirmishes and then roaming around the map, making the plays happen in the top side, finding more opportunities to add to that body count. This time around, doesn't look like he's quite fed enough to be running around completely out of control like that.
And Xmithie just snuck through the Drake pit, was not spotted by Qiyana or really anything as he's kind of going towards that blue buff. He can potentially use it to sneak towards a bot or a top gank, but it looks like Lira might kind of wander into him towards the river.
Not in time.
Gets the blue.
Not in time. Nice steal there from Xmithie, now making his way towards the bottom side, but with Cody Sun and Vulcan underneath their own turret, probably won't turn into too much here anytime soon. Lira and Vulcan in this bottom part of the river now. Level 6 is available across the board for Clutch Gaming.
Moby boots.
Vulcan looking for the chance to go in here. You start off with what's not the solar flare to make sure you can hit it. We'll see if they want to go any further here on this play. They'll get the flash and the cleanse out of DoubleLift.
Yeah, DoubleLift, both summoners down now. Taking cleanse is one of the reasons why Cody Sun was able to enter the mid-fight, but burning both of them, they return.
Not done yet down here, but Vulcan is pretty tanky. The power of that Eclipse, the flat damage reduction, like you were talking about earlier, Jatt, make sure that Vulcan doesn't take too much damage, and he'll walk away, not needing to use any of his own summoners here just yet.
Yeah, this could very well be a fight in the mid lane as well, though.
Jensen taken to half, has to pop the smoke, getting himself away. Damonte chases it a little bit further, but Xmithie makes sure he goes forward with the combo to block where Damonte would have been if he chased further.
Clutch has a lot of accumulated pressure right now. They push Jensen back to base likely, or at least back to his turret because of health. They have both summoners down on DoubleLift, and they have river control with flashes up on their own initiator. So if they see any type of window, they can go in for more kills.
It's resulting in the Mountain Dragon being started up. Mountain Dragon does the least DPS of the Dragon, so Lira actually on Gragas able to self-heal a decent amount and stay fairly healthy while they started, but Team Liquid are attracted.
CoreJJ is starting things off here. Vulcan's gonna be the target, but he keeps himself alive, dropping his own CC in retaliation. CoreJJ is giving a big old shot of something, and that means a kill over to the side of Clutch Gaming. It's 1-0 so far, and Team Liquid commit the cardinal sin of initiating on the tank.
I think it was a little bit of a confusing play for TL right there. We had just gone over how Clutch Gaming had all the flashes and all the ults and the ability to engage, and TL probably tries to jump the gun and get one themselves, but Vulcan just gets his Aftershock down before he's going to be bursted out. And yeah, Clutch has more people there, and TL can't follow through.
By the way, they also had vision on Damonte there, so they knew that they were going to get outnumbered on the bottom side. That is just mis-execution on the side of Team Liquid. They had the information, are unable to pull it off. And congratulations to Clutch adding another kill to this early game.
And as Clutch Gaming managed to grab more kills, you can see that gold lead building up a little bit further for them. Team Liquid's making sure they keep it close by having good farm numbers across the board in their lanes. But now Clutch have rotated Vulcan to the top side. They're looking around. Rift Herald is alive.
And that's the Clutch playbook. They use their support roam post 10 minutes to get the Rift Herald and then crash towards first turret before it's there. Now, TL is on to them. Will this be the river fight that breaks the game open?
It is a 5-man Clutch Gaming squadron. Xmithie getting himself away with the flash at the very start of the fight. Impact's also going to be zoned out by Huni. CoreJJ finding a bit of a counterattack here onto Vulcan, but Core's taken very low. Jensen's nearly going to be taken down. Flash over the wall. The sun itself denies his escape, and Vulcan brings down the hammer.
Clutch are finally able to get their game plan off the ground here. Their reward will be huge. They've wiped the map of Team Liquid, taking off this Rift Herald. They're going to get a huge, huge amount of gold off of some of these turret plates, take away the blue buff, finish up this invade, and Team Liquid left reeling.
And it feels like because TL isn't willing to cede small advantages to Clutch, Clutch is taking bigger advantages. The Drake, TL wasn't willing to cede it. They give up a kill. The Rift Herald, Clutch, far faster to that play. Support roam immediately, even after TL teleported in. They were still kind of behind the play. So not only does Clutch get 2 more kills, they also take the Herald, which we are likely seeing in the next minute.
This is a great example of one of the terms that we use a lot for shorthand, like pressure.
Yeah.
So this cascading pressure across the map where Clutch start out by winning the cooldown wars, gaining ultimate advantages, then transitioning over to the objectives where Team Liquid actually give them the fight they need. And you can see the difference manifesting here with Damonte getting that all-in on Jensen. They get the full chase down. Now Damonte's in trouble though.
Oh, but Damonte's got some fast feet. He gets himself away over the wall. That hula hoop's good for jumping and spinning all over the place. CoreJJ is going to be taken very low, not quite going to be taken down yet. Lira buying some time with the stasis here in the middle of multiple Team Liquid members. Shut down, credit over to Jensen. They'll grab the kill onto him. CoreJJ is still alive in the back line, but Cody Sun's grabbing the kill onto Xmithie. And now those leftovers you left in the fridge, that looks good, and Huni's going to Chow Town.
Saving that one for later.
For a while, it felt like if they can't see me, I can't see them.
The whole problem is that he was on a ward the whole time too. So they had eyeballs on that fridge.
Yeah, we didn't get to see the start of that one. TL does get the shutdown onto Lira, but again, it is Clutch that comes out on top of that play. in pressure, it starts to look like Damonte is getting off the ground. He was so slippery at the start of that, and trust me, if you got your cooldowns up and your flash up on Qiyana, you were almost uncatchable with the amount of dashes and invisibilities you can throw out.
And this is now back-to-back fights that have taken place in the jungle with so many walls for Qiyana to get these big AoE stuns off of. All right, let's see if the Dragon is going to be the next reward for Clutch, because once again, Team Liquid have members here. They're posturing around it. Maybe they learned their lesson.
They're sitting Jensen top to try to gank Huni. There's no way they go after this. Maybe throw something cheeky over the wall, but it's not going to be the case here today. Huni's still going to be found out here. Jensen sees, oh, Huni's still on the top side. All right, I can make my way up here and try to clean this up.
Kill alert!
Jensen's just waiting. Huni's
No
still
ult
walking
for
back.
Jensen,
Jensen's just trying to find her. Yeah, Huni's going to face check that one, and that is a quick ticket back to the fountain.
That's one of those things you hate to see for Huni. If he would have been hugging the top wall, that would have been less likely. We're going to see the start of this fight one more time. Remember, I think Damonte does have flash at the start of this play, so he just goes invisible, dashes out, or he eased through CoreJJ to then flash out, and then Clutch Gaming decide to continue this play. Both top laners teleport down, and it's burst attempts, both onto CoreJJ and to Lira.
Yep, and then Lira flashes out afterwards, so it causes Jensen and Xmithie to get over this wall, and Team Liquid separate themselves. So Cody Sun and Damonte are then able to chase down that extra kill. After they get the one onto Xmithie, they turn it back around for CoreJJ, who is left abandoned and all alone.
Yeah, and this game's going to continue to be fairly explosive because neither of these teams have super traditional team fight compositions. We have a lot of skirmishing with double melee in both of the solo lanes, Jensen, Impact, Huni, and Damonte. So it's whoever can kind of jump first, get the first bits of hard CC down in these 3v3s, which eventually turn into 5v5s, but it's not your front-to-back traditional team fighting.
Well, here comes that Rip Tower we saw Clutch Gaming take earlier. They were not able to use it in time to get plate money from it, and they actually won't even be able to get the first turret from it. Team Liquid are there in time to shut this push down.
And one of the nuances here is that while the teams are both looking for similar things, their supports with the hard engage to start up skirmishes for their solo lanes to get these kills, they have a difference in teleports here. Jensen on the Akali took teleport in mid lane. Damonte, meanwhile, with Qiyana opting for Ignite for these all-in kills for snowballing. This allows Team Liquid the backup plan of having the extra split push player. And Jensen now on bottom side does have the teleport advantage. If he gets to this point now, 4 kills on the Akali, he is once again the hope for Team Liquid, trying to execute in some side lane pushes into teleporting for a flank so that they get the advantage in those skirmishes.
Yeah, and this game, though, it's not him having a 6,000 gold lead on the world. It's his team actually being down 1,500 gold and being slightly ahead of Damonte. He's 500 gold ahead of his lane opponent, even though he does still have top gold in the game. So these are the games where he's going to have to really outplay to get these advantages. Going for another kill onto Huni, though.
Huni is just the target of bullying
Waiting
here
for
from the side of Team
There
Liquid. Jensen's out of the brush, Xmithie's out of the brush. Huni tries to flash away, but he is slammed back into the ground. Killing spree for Team Liquid's mid lane.
And that's why I got eyeballs on Jensen once again. 5 kills now for the Akali. He is the hope.
Teleport's still up as well, and no map pressure able to be taken from Clutch Gaming. So actually a big win there for TL. Huni's going to be trapped here with the split damage across Impact and Jensen and Soul lanes. You kind of need the Hex Drinker to deal with the Akali in the side lanes, but if he does that, he'd start losing to the Renekton.
Damonte will put the last couple of auto attacks into this top lane turret here. That is first turret of the game. It took almost 18 minutes for first turret to fall. Team Liquid will immediately answer on the other side of the map, so it's 1 for 1 there. A little bit of bonus gold to the side of Clutch Gaming for making sure they got in there first, as they'll continue pushing up here in the mid lane. Cody Sun on this Xayah has his Essence Reaver already built. Still needs some more time to keep scaling up, though.
All right, now that the outer turrets are starting to get traded, this is where we start to see where lane allocation really becomes important. And once again, Team Liquid, they still will have the teleport advantage, even when Impact and Huni's both come up here. So it's going to be about how can they rotate around to finish off that top turret. If they can open up the map here with getting the second outer turret down on the side of Clutch, it allows them the extra hand in the setup for this Dragon. 47 seconds on this Cloud Drake, but already Clutch are moving in to get vision.
And it's also 2 parts. It's the setup as well as the as well as the execution on the initiation. And I think Clutch here has more initiation tools. Their support has much more gold than the enemy support, so Vulcan's going to be much tankier than CoreJJ in terms of going in. But then in the river, the Qiyana ultimate in the river actually works as a Sona ult in the water and then also can stun people against the wall. So it's basically a guaranteed multi-man stun anytime TL tries to go in there to stop them.
And let's not forget about the fun of using Qiyana against an enemy Jarvan as well. Jarvan's ultimate is terrain and can link other sources of terrain together.
Jensen stealthy on Akali. Now he gets
Jensen's gonna walk right into Clutch Gaming though. Barrel finds its way on to the mid laner from Team Liquid. Lira continues pushing forward, but they won't be able to chase it any further just yet. Impact's going to be left alone to push here in the top lane. It's a 2-turret-to-1 lead now for the side of Team Liquid. They actually have gold advantage in this game ever so slightly.
Just going for Huni on the bottom side.
As here comes the TP. Impact makes his way in, but Huni once again taken down by Jensen. And now with a 5v4, Team Liquid starts things off. Stasis only going to buy a moment. Lira getting himself away. DoubleLift nearly killed by Damonte, but nearly's not going to do it. Damonte now in some danger of his own. Vulcan into the back line. Damonte still alive. Vulcan shut down by the Ignite. Clutch Gaming seeing if maybe there's anything left to do here. Cody Sun still got plenty of HP. Oh, wow, what a shutdown! Lira goes away, but it's a double over to Damonte. He's stuck around with 100 HP. It is Tanner time, baby.
These teams are not backing down.
Teleport! They're not that good! It's going!
Oh, here we go! Ooh, that missile from DoubleLift almost found the mark, but again, almost is just the name of the game here. Huni shows up! Aatrox's revenge! Shut down for Damonte! DoubleLift falls, Xmithie will run away over the wall. But can he even get out? He goes back to fighting Xmithie, even if he tries to get over the wall. Damonte stuck around. The man's been at 200 HP for the last hour, but he's killing everybody.
Clutch start that out by taking the dragon, and they actually end it way up in kills as well, with the teleport coming out from Huni, still going.
We not done yet. Vulcan goes in, tries to find some sort of an opportunity here, but he won't go any further. Cody Sun TP's in just to make sure Team Liquid can't kill the support. Maybe we're done?
All right, we'll take a look at the replay for now. This is the same mentality that we saw in game number 1 from Clutch. This time around, though, they're actually not behind. So them continuing to go for all these looks turns out so much better.
And because Huni died in the side lane, TL decides to go for the 5v4 in the jungle. Don't have time for the replays, though, as CoreJJ burns a stopwatch, and he dead.
CoreJJ, see you later, buddy. Well, maybe not. Blast thrown over the wall. Now he's still going to be kept alive, but instead, he might have baited Jensen into a bad spot. Smoke is going to be dropped there. Meanwhile, Huni also dies again.
So, Huni is the one who continually gets caught on the side lanes here. If he can find a way to play a little bit safer, Clutch can get a few more advantages here, but so much distraction there. Trying to hold this turret with the Hex Flash.
Team Liquid trying to get that counter push down. The small opening after they're able to take down the Aatrox. 30% of the HP off the turret as well. And it's Team Liquid that looking for the objective to chip away at after these skirmishes take place in the jungle.
Now that Damonte is pushing topside, though, and Clutch is still sitting around mid, TL would then look for an initiation. And the initiations are coming so quickly, you're constantly having to do a check of whose ultimates are actually up. Because so many times you'd want to fight during the windows of the ults not being up, but the skirmishes are constant, and none of them are syncing up, really.
All right, this one starts out with just supports fighting over wards at the moment, but as soon as they start fighting over the wards, everybody goes to support these invades. You can see in the jungle here, everything used very early on. Top side, actually, Jensen picks up the Scuttle Crab while CoreJJ is getting attacked. They leave CoreJJ because there's 2 fights. Huni was diving that turret while they were letting CoreJJ walk away to the blast cone. So then the fight gets pulled in 2 directions here. And Huni's left by himself under the tower, which is why he took so much damage and ended up going down in the trade kill.
And Kobe, that reminds me of the Drake fight we saw as well, where Huni was fighting Jensen down in the bottom lane as the Drake was being taken. Now Jensen in bottom lane, so Clutch might look to dive.
Clutch is going for it. Solar Flare comes down. Xmithie tries to get away, but it's going to be canceled. They can't find the chance to go in, though. They'll take the turret and walk out.
All right, objective. It's not about the skirmish now. They got a tower down.
2 ults, though, which means TL will have that advantage in the next fight. Those are the margins that could make or break a decisive team fight with the game being so close.
Jensen also prowling around on the side here. Just like in game number 1, so much of what Team Liquid has is invested into this mid laner. Seeing if he can find those flanks, those big assassinations onto these value targets of Cody Sun and Damonte.
All right, once again, when we continue to have this much action, Team Liquid, with their teleport advantage on Jensen, have the extra card that they could be playing the map with. So Clutch want to continue to force. They want to keep this same pace of action because they don't want to split up. They're the ones at the teleport disadvantage. Meanwhile, Team Liquid want to split. That's why you can see them. They send Akali down to the bottom side. Jensen needs to get pressure on that turret to sort of punish slowly Clutch's continual grouping here.
But keep your eyes on Damonte. He's the richest person in the game right now, and Clutch is trying to pressure TL for a fight. We could very well see a fight over this Mountain Drake in River.
Vulcan tried to go in. Impact gets himself knocked up by the first Q from the Aatrox, but he's still going to keep walking away. Lira popped Predator. Liquid is retreating with their 4-man squad while still keeping Jensen on this flank, ready to go if Clutch Gaming overcommits.
Alts are back up. Clutch probably going to look to initiate, but Jensen is going to try and flank right after the initiation happens.
I like the play from Clutch there, going up over the cliff to put down the control ward just to make sure, but now they're going to be starting things off. Vulcan into the back line. Xmithie going to be the target here at the start. CoreJJ is exploded! Impact's going to be taken down next. DoubleLift's on the run, but Jensen's into the back line. It's a double kill over to Cody Sun. Jensen continues his retreat. He'll stay alive. He'll kite back. Cody Sun doesn't want to chase too close just yet. He knows the damage potential here. It's a 2-for-1, and it goes to Clutch Gaming.
So Jensen never got off the ultimate that he wanted to. They still could look to collapse on this afterwards because Jensen's kept wave priority top lane.
Clutch Gaming have control over the pit. They'll take the Drake. Xmithie wisely not jumping in there.
Honestly, better focus from Clutch in this fight. They were able to group and focus fire. Meanwhile, you're talking about Jensen was skirting around the outside of the fight, never was able to find the opportunity in the assassin v assassin.
And it's because Clutch initiated away from the Akali. The fight was basically decided before Jensen had pressed the button on the opponent. So Damonte, you almost expect to be bursted out, but he grabs the grass blade in the back of the fight there, so when Jensen goes in, he can never get the execute. The whole time that's happening, Clutch Gaming is winning the fight because they started it faster 5v4.
Yeah, there's a big difference there because Damonte can add the AoE from his ultimate, and you saw that big stun, got 3 members, and was able to chain very effectively. Meanwhile, no assassination took place, so Clutch another small victory there. Add a second Mountain Drake to their pockets, and that is going to give them so much threat in burning down this Baron in the aftermath of one of these skirmishes that we continue to see.
I have to point out, though, although Clutch Gaming is playing a fantastic game so far, Team Liquid is keeping it very close. We are under 2,000 gold separating these teams. And if Clutch fumble one of these team fights, especially if it's one that gives away a Baron, Team Liquid could easily take control.
But with Double Mountain, they're just going to go for it. I wouldn't be surprised if they even try to 50-50 this when Xmithie comes in. Always a gambit, though.
Here comes the TP from Team Liquid. Fight starting off. Clutch Gaming is going to be stuck in the pit. Here we go! Shut down onto DoubleLift. Clutch Gaming have won the fight. Jensen is zoned away. Baron goes over to Clutch. Yeehaw! Clutch Gaming are putting the screws to Team Liquid.
Damonte finds DoubleLift. He doesn't even get to flash. Qiyana with the full burst there. Annihilates him from the backside. Really good setup by Clutch Gaming. The Team Liquid had to funnel all in. Now with Baron buff, they can take so much.
Yeah, did DoubleLift even see it? He didn't get Cleanse up as well. He was gone as soon as he walked close to him, but I love the call from Clutch. And I also think their reputation preceded them as Jensen is going to get a solo kill.
Jensen trying to kill Lira off here, needs one more shot to do Lira. he's trying to... It didn't work. It didn't work, but Jensen makes something happen off the back end of the fight, but that was still big wins for Clutch.
Solo kill aside, the fact that Clutch has been willing to just burst down Barons means Xmithie has no time to think about dancing for a steal and goes all in and watch DoubleLift.
He never gets to see him. There's actually no time
There's
right
a control ward the whole time.
Yeah, Damonte just comes out of the fog of war, full Qiyana burst, and that is a dead Kaisa.
6-1-8 on the Qiyana. The fight in the top jungle earlier where he picked up 3 or 4 kills around 200 health now has let him hit these lethality AD power spikes where his one-shot burst is just so hot.
Lethality, 2 items completed for that. Guardian Angel also up and running, so he can dive in with impunity. Has the last Whisper too, just in case he has to get through some of this armor on Jensen, on Xmithie. Ninja Tabbies, I guess, on Impact if you want to count Shoes as armor, but Clutch Gaming is so firmly in control now. You can see them pushing up. The same story I told last game about no vision being on the Team Liquid side of the map because nothing's really going to happen there is being told now on the Clutch Gaming side. Look at how dark that is compared to the jungle in the bottom side of the map here for TL. They're the ones who are now being pressured. They're the ones who are being strangled out of Summoner's Rift, and Clutch Gaming is not stopping.
Baron-powered cannon minion gonna do a lot for their siege now, and they don't have to give up. You can see the 1v1 as well on the top side. It's actually a rotation now as they're calling down Impact for Team Liquid, but right into the waiting arms.
Damonte just found him and nearly insta-killed the Gator. The Ignite is ticking down, and Damonte just cleans him up.
He seems so comfortable and confident on Qiyana in this game, stunning up against the wall. That's exactly the play they need. Now they can split push fairly safely. Team Liquid still might try desperation if they can get onto Cody.
Cody lost about 1/3 of his health there to Jensen, but Jensen had to back away because Huni was able to find the chains. Clutch Gaming trying to initiate this one. Xmithie going into the front lines. Cataclysm going to be dropped down. Xmithie taken very low. One more auto attack, able to seal the deal, and they won't be able to find it. DoubleLift into the back line. Clutch Gaming now going to be losing everybody. DoubleLift's going to be taken low, taken down. And Clutch Gaming have found themselves a team fight. They have found themselves an inhibitor. And God bless it, they are going to find themselves some Nexus turrets.
This is why so many fans got excited about Clutch. The exciting gameplay, the Qiyana kills coming through for Tanner, and they've got the Nexus still to work with here. Impact is up.
Impact getting himself towards Cody Sun, trying to buy a little bit more time here. Xmithie goes home. Impact's having to walk away, and Clutch Gaming will tie this series up.
This is why you play the games. It is never a done deal based